We've entered the first month of 2023, January. This is the first and arguably most important opportunity for companies to release a new MMO. There is no competition, and everyone is on the lookout for something fresh to begin the new year with. People are finishing their vacations, they're celebrating. Well, we're not. How we celebrate is by destroying our enemies in PvP, by running the most difficult competitive raids with pugs, of course, because none of us have any friends to actually play with. I'm here today in an attempt to satiate that hunger that you might have by showcasing every new MMO releasing after the new year, and what form that release will take. If you enjoy this series, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification because YouTube told me that if you don't, well, you'll probably still be looking for a new MMO next month. Oh, and make sure to check out the last episode in this series at the end of this video. Before we discuss every new MMO release in January, I do want to quickly note 3 things. I'll be streaming each of these games over on Twitch every weekend, so feel free to come on over and hang. I have a Discord, the link to that is pinned in the comments below if you want to become part of this community. I also want to thank each and every single one of our patrons over on Patreon. You're all incredible, and I will strive not to disappoint you all in 2023. Now let's jump in and see if we can't find something for you to waste the next month in. Social MMOs aren't really my thing. I love competitive games, engaging enemies in PvP, running difficult dungeons and raids, although I am really interested in playing Palworld when it launches in 2023, but I digress. Polity is a social MMO developed and published by Jib Games. Players, according to the devs, can choose to rule their very own country or become citizens of other players' countries. Establishing your own country allows you to customize it, to set your own rules, allow for different professions, providing ample opportunities for customization. The game entered closed beta testing back in 2021 and finally entered early access via Steam as of December 30th, a couple days ahead of schedule. Looking at the Steam page, the reviews are definitely mixed, with 68% being positive. However, Polity is also fully and completely free to play, meaning there is no premium price tag associated with playing. You can just download and play it, and if you don't like it, uninstall it and move on. It is also unconfirmed how long it will remain in early access for. I know what you're thinking. Wait, Styx Blue Protocol? What? Isn't that launching in the second half of 2023? Yeah, it is. While Amazon Game Studios are in charge of publishing Blue Protocol globally at an undisclosed point in the second half of 2023, Japan is holding their final closed beta on January 14th through January 16th, with a full release early in 2023. Pre-registration for the Japanese beta has already concluded, meaning you cannot get in unless you're invited by someone that got accepted. With that in mind, I will be streaming it over on Twitch during the beta test period as I was provided access. Amazon have not confirmed when the global closed beta will take place, and other than spring 2023, we don't know when the full Japanese launch will be either. Nevertheless, Blue Protocol is a full-action anime MMO that is going to show the world what a AAA budget anime MMO should look like. Take notes, Tower of Fantasy. Mad World is somewhat of an interesting MMO. It was originally conceived as a browser-compatible PC MMO, but later on added mobile functionality. Jandysoft, the developers, proceeded to partner with Netmarble back in 2019, and after spending years in development, when it came time to launch, they decided, for reasons that have not been made public, to sever ties with Netmarble. This meant that they would self-publish the game, which seems to be a little bit more difficult than they were likely anticipating, as the game, which was scheduled to release in 2022, has been pushed into 2023, but only slightly. According to Jandysoft, Mad World is actually complete, like fully complete, which means the game could very well launch any day now. It was confirmed that Mad World would launch on PC, followed by a mobile version at some point in the future within a few months. Corepunk sure has seen its fair share of delays since it was first revealed, the most recent being completely unavoidable, unfortunately. Nevertheless, the studio has soldiered on, making immense progress towards a fully playable version of the game. And while a beta was scheduled for 2022, the devs confirmed via Discord that the closed beta test that was scheduled was delayed, but not by a very large margin. According to the Discord message in question, they are close to a functional test phase. While we don't have a definitive beta release date, it is nevertheless expected to take place within the next month or two. The devs have confirmed that they will have brand new footage to showcase as we move towards the first public beta. Honestly, the devs have been nothing but communicative with me and very friendly. I even have merch that they sent me years ago as a thank you for originally covering the game. I genuinely hope to be able to play the test phase when it's available, hopefully sometime in January. Every couple months, WoW and Final Fantasy XIV release their next large patch, introducing a slew of new content, story, dungeons, raids. January 10th sees Final Fantasy XIV releasing their much coveted patch 6.3, which includes, as always, additional main scenario quests, side quests, Hildebrand adventures, more Manderville weapons were promised, new tribal quests. There's a new dungeon, like always, a new trial, a new Unreal trial, along with a new Alliance raid, and at some point, Ultimate Duty 5 Omega Protocol. I don't raid competitively in Final Fantasy XIV, I'm more of a WoW raider, but I know for a fact Mrs. Styx is going to be there day one participating in all of it, as she most definitely does raid competitively in both games, actually, and it honestly is very surprising that she's so good at both. People always wonder how these two MMOs alone are able to warrant their premium purchase and subscription fees, and this is the answer. No other MMOs have quality updates of this caliber this frequently. The Adventurer's Domain Online is an MMO that I was literally just made aware of about 15 minutes ago, just before recording this video actually. It is an MMORPG entering early access on January 26th, aiming to provide players an old school classic experience. Players will occupy a shared open world, playing with tens of other players. I say tens because while many upcoming MMOs do look promising to some extent, I have this sinking feeling in my gut that this is an asset flip. Just looking at the gameplay and seeing early access makes me incredibly suspicious of the game, to the extent that I wouldn't really consider putting my computer in potential danger by downloading and installing it. Nevertheless, they do promise an extensive class system, plenty of ways to level, a functional naval system PvP. It's an MMO that you can also play solo, which you'll probably need to do since nobody else will. Okay, maybe that's me being a little bit too mean, too judgmental about the game when I haven't even played it yet. So with this in mind, be wary of this one, but don't completely disregard it. Your best bet here is to just watch it closely and follow it, let other people potentially damage their computers, get scammed, and keep yourself safe if you're that all interested. And finally, Throne in Liberty isn't launching or holding a beta test in January, but I did want to make sure you were all aware it will be holding test phases very soon. The NC confirmed that the game would be launching in the first half of 2023. While I know this could essentially be June, it could also be March if the beta tests go over smoothly. If you're interested in learning more about Throne in Liberty, I actually do have a 20-minute video discussing everything you need to know about it up on the channel. And that is every MMO related release that I was made aware of is happening in the month of January 2023. If none of these games look like they're games you'd be interested in, I urge you to go ahead and check out one of these two videos on screen right now. I'm sure you'll find something that you'll enjoy. Trust me, we have a very promising looking year coming.